What is up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast and Ringside Podcast collaboration, the Wednesday Night Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Wyman, along with my other host, Sean Barber. What's going on, Sean?
How's it going?
He's been working out, y'all. I mean, you can't tell it from the baggy clothes and the unkempt beard, but he's been working out. We're going to have a good show tonight, have a good time. The chat line is open for all your comments. We'll answer all of your comments in real time and questions to get your reactions. If you're an exclusive member of the Ringside Podcast group chat on Twitter, you have the opportunity to call in as well. Just shoot us a DM. Sean will be monitoring the DMs for that chat to see if anybody wants to call in tonight. Our questions of the day has been on social media. One, what is the worst WWE pay-per-view? Well, I put WWE, but the worst pay-per-view name ever. Any promotion. Is there a new challenger coming up? I think so. Question of the day number 2, the Survivor Series format. What's your favorite? Is it War Games? Is it 5-on-5? Is it champion versus champion like they did for a couple of years? Let us know on the chat line. And last but not least, do you like the Saturday night main events? They've announced another one. Changes my mind a little bit about it because I like the once a quarter. I don't know why we're sticking an extra one in. There must be for some reason. We'll find that out soon. We're still gonna take a little time to let everybody file in here before we get to the meat of stuff. Again, shoot your comments and questions in the chat line there, and we'll get to them. We've got the nice little monitor there next to Sean so we can pretty up the camera angle over there a little bit. Behind his left shoulder, you can see the Yeet shirt. And right in front of him is his water. So this is very, very unentertaining. Miscellaneous news we'll start off with before we get to everything. The Raw time, Sean, has been changed for the rest of September. I don't know if that starts. No, it don't start this week. NFL don't start till next week, correct?
I believe next week.
Yeah. Okay. So they're going to move it till 7 o'clock for the last 3 weeks of September. Smart move?
Yes, I think. Well, we'll see. But I like the idea of it because that you get an hour before football starts, and you hope that people will be like, you know what? I'm going to just keep watching this. And I'll check football out in the fourth quarter and see if it's close or not. I think that's the idea behind it, but I just like the idea because it also is better for kids because kids still watch wrestling. So having it on from 7 to, about 9:30.
Yeah.
I mean, kids can watch the whole thing, go to bed. And I think that might also be playing into it as well. But I like this, at least trying it. Why not? It can't hurt.
Cardinal Sports Zone photographer Keith Russell in the building says, yo. Tom Jeffrey says, love Saturday night's main event. I think they have 6 a year. No, they have 4 a year. They have 1 a quarter. They stuck an extra one, and we'll talk about that here in a second. The 7 p.m. start time starts September the 15th, which will be the first week. Thank you for that, Tom. First week of the NFL season, I believe. ESPN takeover sooner than expected. We thought that we had a little bit more time. Peacock, we thought we had a little bit more time with you, baby, but we don't. The NXT pay-per-views are to stay on the P, and I called it the P because if I called it the other word, we could be canceled soon. We've not been on in a couple weeks, 3 to be exact, because we've been getting things ready. As you all know, our shoot work job is covering the University of Louisville and college football seasons on hand. So me and Sean have been busy proofing stories, writing stories, getting them out. Shout out to Higgy. Our guy's been doing a lot of the press releases and been taking a load off of Sean, and he's been really helpful. So with that being said, congrats to Jimmy and Naomi having a baby. I think the new tag team name, I think it looks like and also congratulations for Jay taking up for his family almost to a fault this past Monday. We'll talk about that in a minute. Usos reboot coming? I think so, but I don't think they should be called the Usos, Sean. I think we should come up with a new name for them, and I think that you all give us the best tag team. If we were going to and we don't have that power, right? We don't have that power, but if we did, I'm going to put this because I always say, hey, we'll get to this at the end of the night, and then your boy forgets about it because we've talked so much about everything else. So I've got one, and I think it should be the runaway winner, and we'll talk about that later. Karrion Kross, still don't know if they're working us. It feels shoot, but I'll tell you what, I've loved a lot, and we're also going to talk about another work that may be happening as well. I love the swerve stuff, man. Make me feel like something's so obvious. Now sometimes that backfires because it's something you really, really want. Kind of like when we all the return of a WWE champion, one of the first Raws of the year, and Jinder Mahal come out. Okay. And we all felt let down until The Rock came out, which made that all better. I think we have one of those occurring right now. And it's not Karrion Kross. No, the one I'm thinking of should have been. It still can be. We'll talk about that in a second, too. I'm excited about that. Another Saturday night main event, as we said, announced for November in Salt Lake City, bringing the total to 5 when they announced it would be quarterly. Not really. Again, got to be something that they've done that for. We've got another Worlds Collide pay-per-view, as if the Worlds didn't just get finishing colliding a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, or whatever. Let's get into it, and I want to hear your all's opinions too. Worst pay-per-view name ever. Sean, I'm going to start it off, and I really think that I don't think there's any other choice. I think it has to be Samoa Joe versus, was it Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire?
That was the one yeah.
Well, I think that was the main event, right? Wasn't it Brock and Joe?
It's been so long.
Well, I think a lot of us have tried to put that out of our head, out of our memory. Yeah, so
it's been a long time. I think it was, but
it's been so. I'm sorry, not going to get into singing. Let's get your all's opinions on that too. Sean, apparently I've stole his.
Yeah.
Is there a new contender? Is WrestlePalooza now the worst one ever, Sean?
Ooh, it's
close, right?
It's close. You know what? I think it is the worst. I'm going to say it's the worst because it feels like somebody just was lazy and they go, what are we going to call this? WrestlePalooza, sir? And at first they look at him and they're like, you're You know what? Nobody's got any better ideas.
Genius.
Nobody's got any better ideas. That's a great idea. We'll go with it.
Well, also for Palooza Fest, as I'm going to call it, or what was it? You remember when, was it Jon Stewart? What did he call Summerfest?
Oh, yeah, Summerfest.
That
or was it WrestleFest? No, it was
Summerfest.
Somebody called one of them WrestleFest one time. Probably.
And Summerfest may be the worst one out of all of them, but that never materialized. It's also kind of weird. We'll speculate on this a little bit. It's in Indianapolis as well. We've already been to one pay-per-view in Indianapolis this year. They don't typically do dual in one city. Do we think that maybe takes away from when they signed this deal? They signed a 5 or 6 year, 3 event contract, and it was assumed that it was Rumble, or maybe it was even announced that it was Mania, Rumble, and SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. Is this just WWE throwing them a bone since Rumble went so well, or do you think this counts as one of the 3?
Ooh. trying to think because so this is on. Because I'm wondering if maybe it was something they were supposed to have, maybe like a SmackDown or something there, and they're just like, hey, let's just give them a Saturday pay-per-view just to go up again. You know what I mean? Just to go, because it feels like this pay-per-view was thrown together to go against what is it, All Out or All In? I can't remember. I don't remember those.
It's all in between, I think. I'm not really sure.
But yeah, I feel like it was designed to go against that, and it was, and let's be honest, it was something they probably put together in a relatively short amount of time. And they looked for a place. Indy's probably like, hey, we'll take it right here. We'll take it.
We'll take it right here. The story of Sean's life.
I don't know. I wish that was the story of uneffing believable.
Gosh, dang it, Sean. He wish. No, it's so, and that's another piece of news. I've got it in here somewhere, but we'll go ahead and talk about it now to combat that. So WWE's been doing a lot of counter programming, and whereas you're, oh, I hate WWE, oh, I hate AEW, those people are mad. People like us that watch them both are delighted that we get a full day of wrestling. I would actually prefer for them to be on at the same time. We've got 2 TVs down in the CSC cave. We can watch them at the same time. Man, I miss the days when we had 3 down there, but the flood happened. Then I bought a lot of championships, and they had to take up a little part of the wall too. So, but they moved that pay-per-view to 3:00 in the afternoon, so it'll be going off as Palooza Fest comes on. And from the looks of it, it looks like WrestlePalooza, the first one on ESPN, is going to be quite the show. Have they already announced? I believe they already announced a match for that, haven't they?
I'm not sure. I know.
Is that where EO versus Vicaire is happening?
Yeah, you're right. That's where it's happening. Yes, that is
Okay.
official. And I don't know if they made anything else official yet, even though we know Brock and Cena probably going to be on there.
That's what we are. That's what we're assuming, correct?
Yeah, and I would assume a certain tag team match with a certain power couple against another.
Wait, Nikki and John are wrestling?
Yeah, who knew?
The Miz and Maurice?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Dude, that was a great match. I was there for that. What pay-per-view was that? Not those two. It was Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Oh God.
Was that at the Royal Rumble? Was that at the Rumble we went to? I don't know why my voice just went up. 2022 Royal Rumble.
No, it wasn't there. No.
Sean, I'm going to need you.
I know the match you're talking about. I just can't remember when it was.
Sean, I'm going to have to punch you.
Let's see here.
Are you looking it up? Okay,
Yeah.
good, because I've got a show to host. Tom Jeffries asked, wasn't WrestlePalooza an indie event? Yes and no. It was initially an ECW pay-per-view name. WWE they bought ECW. They let the rights to that go. I'm telling you, it was Royal Rumble 2022. Look up the match card. If it wasn't, it was another major pay-per-view that I was at. I know I was there, whatever it was. WWE let the rights to that go up back in 2020. There was an indie federation that picked it up and started using the name, and they abandoned the trademark for the name about a month ago, probably because WWE offered to pay for it. So,
yes, it was. You were correct.
Oh, try to tell that mother. All Out is our AEW resident contributor Tom Jeffries is saying All Out is the one that is going up against Palooza Fest, a go-go or whatever it's called. Let's get started. A little Monday Night Raw. Monday Day Raw action. Started off with CM Punk waiting by the door for Seth there with Rhea, casing the joint. Now, this isn't the first time CM Punk and Rhea had been pictured together, so that's why before the blunder this morning by WWE Shop, I was kind of hoping that they were swerving us and it was going to be CM Punk and Rhea. against Seth and Becky, which I think would be a phenomenal pairing. But they're waiting for the door after Becky racked them at the Clash. Oh, wait a minute. There was a Clash. Duh. Sammy beats Solo on SmackDown on the pre-show that's basically for Clash. Roman beats Bronson, then gets destroyed after he beats up Heyman. Braun and Braun are banned from ringside in the main event. Heyman in the hospital. What's going to happen? Fourth man confirmed. The Wyatts win in a really, really nice. They've been doing multi-tag team matches really, really good the last, this whole year, honestly. So I love that. Becky beat Nikki Bella to retain her United States Championship. Rusev mauls Sheamus in probably one of the most violent matches I've ever seen. Maybe top 10 match of the year. It was so fun. Cena wins in a classic. Cena hit about 4 or 5 other people's finishing moves, including what was his name? Baron Corbin's End of Days. Hit the Styles. He hit a couple of more. He hit Pop Rocks, I believe, too.
Pop Rocks. So she actually hit that before she even was in WWE.
Well, we're gonna to fit our narrative. We're gonna say he did about 4 or 5 other people's finishing movies.
Christopher Daniels finisher.
Yeah, I mean he did a lot, so it was really, really awesome. Seth wins the Fatal 4-Way match after interference from the fourth man. Not really sure if I would still really like to see another guy and another girl added to that faction. I don't know who I would want the girl to be, but I think it needs a young guy like either Karrion Kross or Ethan Page. Maybe Ethan Page and Chelsea Green would fit well in that faction. I don't know. But they're working they're money together down at NXT, so I really like that. I give the pay-per-view about a 4.25 star. It was entertaining the entire evening. All right, let's get back to Monday Day Raw and finish that up. Jay promo start it up. Jay promo to start the show. LA Knight comes out, gets in his face just as they were about to handle business. Braun and Braun comes out, and the main event was set. Kabuki Warriors beat Judgment Day with no issues. Teased dissension with Io. Tells Io they don't need her ringside. They can handle their business themselves. It was a running joke the entire night where they would talk to Io and Asuka would run off and Kyrie would try to stay behind to talk to her and Kyrie like yelling for her. So that was fun. It was also announced that Io Sky versus Stephanie Vickers set for PALOOZA Fest. That's what I'm going to call it. So get over it. Finn beats Dragon Lee with help from McBobblehead. That gets the JD banned from ringside during the Intercontinental. That gets the Judgment Day banned from ringside during the Intercontinental title match later in the evening. Day. Finn smiling on that one. War Penta beat the GNU Day, which is, or would it just be New Day still? Isn't the G silent when you put it on the front of G apostrophe? Or do you say GNU? Well, I'm going to say GNU. They beat the GNU New Day. Dominic beats AJ Styles after a tremendous match and tremendous salute from the crowd. Insane. Really good Intercontinental title match, sans El Grande Americano. This one, I will say they dropped the ball. They should have let AJ win this championship over there. He really did. We hear you deserve it all the time. He really did deserve it. But Dominic wins after El Grande Americano headbutts AJ in the stomach and somehow gives him a concussion in his head, and he falls down and gets beat. It was then announced that Seth sneaks into the building. Punk runs out to the ring to call him out. Calls him out, the music hits, but it's not that man. It's the man, Becky Lynch. She comes out, and after she slaps him 37 times, slaps the piss out of him 37 times, I'll just tell you this much. I love wrestling. I think that I would have been a decent professional wrestler. Work on the mic, phenomenal. Work in the ring, it would have got there. After you play football, that's not a natural transition for most people. But after about 2 of them smacks right to my lips, I would have went on. Now, not to a female, but I would have been so mad that I would have probably went back and quit. or I would have went back and found her husband and smacked him in the face 37 times. If only Punk had somebody that could take care of her for him. AJ Lee return confirmed. B&B, Braun and Braun beat LA and J and then beat them up after the bell. Jimmy comes out with the chair and chases them away. Usos reunited, confirmed. I really love this episode of Raw. It was a decent Raw. Love the tease for Friday night too about CM Punk bringing somebody with him. I think we may finally see her Friday in Chicago. But I wouldn't be shocked if they. So here's the problem. Again, about what 3:00 this morning, WWE Shop responded to a responded to a tweet that said something along the lines of, "I'm going to SmackDown on Friday and don't have any AJ Lee gear to wear. What am I supposed to do?" To which, and it's not been confirmed if it was a real person or a Grok bot. So I just started thinking about that. If that was a bot, then it just took everything they said and answered it. So I don't know if it was a real person or not. I don't have that confirmation. Sean don't either. But nevertheless, I really wanted this to end up being, Becky being like, "Oh, she don't even work here," and then, "Oh, I'm not scared of little AJ Lee." Well, guess what? It's not AJ Lee. It's Rhea freaking Ripley. So I know that's Seth's thing, but we stole it for a second. But really good episode of Raw. Cannot wait for SmackDown Friday, which leads us to NXT. They announced earlier in the week No Mercy, Halloween Havoc, and NXT Homecoming. So, very, very interested in that. And I'll tell you why here in a little bit. But let's get to the results of Heat Wave, though, first. Lola Device. Gotcha.
Lola Device?
Unbelievable.
I wish she had a device for... Anyway, defeated Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan by pinfall. This was a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship.
Oh, okay.
I believe. My notes just say number one contender, and then it cuts off. I think he wrote these. Dark State defeats Hank and Crank for the NXT Tag Team titles. Ash by Elegance with Heather and M defeats JC Jane. Why did these notes? Who's the third? Was it Masha and Masha? For the for the TNA Knockouts Championship, Blake Monroe defeats Jordan Grace. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green defeat Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. Is that her name? My notes are all screwed. I believe that's it. And then finally, for the NXT Championship, Javon Evans was just sure he was going to win this championship. He didn't. Lost to the Rula big time. It was a good pay-per-view as well. It just, NXT is the best show out there right now, out of all of them. And I love Raw, love SmackDown, but every week they set up. My favorite thing is that they set up for the next week so well. Already next week, and let's talk about this first before we get into next week. But again, Ethan and Chelsea are money down there right now, man. Even the little segment they had last night, setting up a flag match in NXT for next week. Again, that's one of the events next week. There were other events that happened last night that set up for next week. It started off last night with Jada Parker versus Lash Legend. Lash winning that hard-fought match, really good match. After the match, Jada hits her with the hypnotic through the barricade, followed up by an in-show ad, product placement for Maybelline with Blake Monroe and Ariana Grace, which we see her real-life boyfriend for the first time in a month. What is going... Now, this isn't her real-life boyfriend, but where's Tony D? Where's Luca? Where's Stax? Well, I'll tell you where Stax is. Standing next to his girlfriend, Ariana Grace, in the Maybelline ad. What? What? Anyway, Jordan comes in to beat the crap out of Blake and bumps into Evolve Women's Champion Callie Armstrong, setting up a match for later in the evening. Got an ad for When Worlds Collide again. Javon comes out. He's in his feelings. You look up on the video screen, it looks like the Undertaker's pulled up. The gong hits in the ring, and out comes Josh Briggs. Wonderful swerve. Amazing. Loved it. Hated it and loved it all at the same time. Starts talking crap to Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs beats the dog mess out of him. That Undertaker fake out was cinema. The faces in the main event are in the back getting along when Hank and Tank say, hey, if something happens, you can't get along later. We got a secret weapon. AJ Lee confirmed for NXT. Speed qualifier match. Candice beats Zaya. Candice from SmackDown beats Zaya Brookside from TNA. Then we pan to the back. Chase U confronts Josh Briggs, setting up a match later in the evening between. So it was Andre Chase's students that was talking smack to Briggs, and it was like, hey, Andre Chase, Mr. Chase can beat you. Well, he's like, let's do it later. Triple threat match next week was announced where the winners get a WWE Women's Tag Team title shot. Fatal Influence versus Solzaria versus the Cullen, which was really good. We finally get some explanation behind the dark side. You get it like a 3-minute promo where they all explain why they're mad, what the purpose of Dark State is. Did I say Dark Side?
Yeah.
Dark State. We hear about each individual person's background. It was really good. That's something they didn't do with Retribution that ended up. Now, I'm not a big Dark State fan because the guys like collectively, okay, they can beat up people. Individually, not really sure any of them will ever be a champion, even a mid-card champion, but is what it is. Really good promo. Trick then comes out and pretty much poops on NXT and the guys that wrestled there in the past. Tells the crowd there's well, actually he kind of swerves everybody. He's like, you all know the wrestlers of the past that don't come back, and that's not fair to you all, and that's not showing you all love. Pause. But I get it because I don't want to be here either. As soon as I get caught up, I ain't never coming back. Your favorite old favorites don't love you no more. And at that point, you know somebody's coming out. Now, I didn't know. I had a bunch of speculation. It wasn't who I thought it was. DIY comes out, double super kick, hit their finishing move on Trick, and that was loved it. It put some thoughts in your head. Go to the back. Ethan Page and Trevon Heights set up their flag match for next week. And again, already the lineup for NXT next week is pay-per-view quality for them and for wrestling. You're going to cut to the back where Trick Williams says next time he will see DIY, and he also, or they aren't the only ones that have history in NXT. He's got history in NXT too. Now, that's another one that kind of, is he talking about Carmelo coming back to tag up at Homecoming against DIY? Or who else does he have history with in NXT that we haven't seen in a while? Ilya Dragunov. Could it be him and Dragunov versus DIY? I think that'd be a really good match. Or is it AJ Francis? AJ Francis was in NXT before, so you just never know. And this is the stuff about wrestling we really love. The guessing and all that stuff, it really keeps. Again, I don't think there's another Fed right now that's doing it like NXT is doing it. Callie Armstrong versus Jordan Grace. Jordan wins. Monroe comes out and gets her lip busted up pretty good. There was a Lola Vice vignette that was good to tell, another background piece. Andre Chase versus Briggs. Briggs wins, then puts one of Chase's students to the table. And let's talk about that. I don't remember if I expounded on this earlier, but that table spot at Heatwave may have been the nastiest, most awesome table spot. Oba picks him up and pretty much overhand throws him over the ropes right onto the table. Through the table. Not on the table, through the table. Amazing. The 8-man main event is entertaining. Great teamwork until Oba and Ricky leave the match to fight each other, leaving it to a 4-on-2 situation. What are they going to do? What is Hank and Tank going to do? Are they going to choo-choo or honk-honk or whatever the crap it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's 4-on-2, Sean. As Darkseid is about to crush. What is this thing? Auto-incorrect words. About to crush Hank and Tank. Hank looks up and says, "Stop! Why? Joe Hendry. Say his name." And then his music hits. The crowd loses their spit. And whatever else. Joe comes out, evens the odds. Even though it's 4-3, he evens up the odds. The faces end up in the ring at the end of the night. Good guys win. Simply just said his name and he appeared. It's crazy. You can go back into the Ringside Podcast archives and see when we interviewed Joe Hendry for episode 200 of the Ringside Podcast. And we simply said his name and he appeared. And then Daniel tried to get cute at the end and say his name for him to disappear. And Joe said, "That's not how this works." Really great time with them. Very excited for NXT Homecoming. The options are unlimited. I loved the fact that Johnny and Tommaso paid homage to. They not only paid homage to Finn Balor, they paid homage to Adam Cole. They paid homage to a bunch of other Bailey. Gosh, I can't remember who else. The first one was from the Demons to the Huggers to the Undisputed to the something else. I don't remember what the fourth one was, but great segment. I cannot wait for NXT Homecoming, and I hope this is something they do every year. We have a preview for Impact from our guy Clint Carroll. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we've already answered that question. Sorry. Brian Cross in the building, my guy. This is one of the first people that I talked to that kind of got me into wanting to do the wrestling show, because we were in a wrestling group on Facebook, I believe, and we just clicked. So what's up, Brian, man? Appreciate you hopping in here with us. Preview for Impact this week. They're going to crown a new #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship. It'll be Indy Hartwell versus Jody Threat versus Danny Luna. And I believe they're in Minneapolis this week. Is that this week? Is that where they're at, Sean? Is Minneapolis?
I don't know.
They're going to there's a huge celebration set for Ash by Elegance brand for the new Knockouts Women's Champion. The final negotiations between Team 3D and the Hardy Boys going into Bound for Glory will occur this Thursday night. Trick Williams and Santana continue their potential championship match tease after Santana pulls off a pinfall on the champ at Minnesota.
Yes, okay. Minneapolis.
The Hardys and Mara Sade, which formerly Jakara Jackson, versus Tasha Steele in the Good Hands in 6-person tag action. And finally, Matt Cardona versus Frankie Kazarian in one-on-one action. So as much as I like to give NXT credit, TNA is really stepping up their game, not only venue-wise, or not only quality-wise, but venue-wise. They're doing things there, and just by them crossing over just a little bit with NXT, it's improving the quality of their shows over there. Not that they needed a lot of help, because TNA is a class act federation, if you will, and going nowhere but up. I'm going to predict right now that at Bound for Glory, we're going to see them break 5 digits. We're going to see a 10,000 person crowd for Bound for Glory, Sean. That's my prediction. That's my way too early prediction for this year. Sorry, see, when you're producing the show and you don't and hosting at the same time, sometimes it gets a little tricky. AEW announced today that September the 17th, December to Remember, will occur, a 3-hour special event. I'm assuming that's on Wednesday night.
Probably it's probably one of those TV specials, because they do those all the time. Winter is coming.
Yeah, I think it's probably a Dynamite, and then September 20th. Now, that's PALOOZA? Is PALOOZA on a Saturday or Sunday?
I'm pretty sure it's on Saturday.
Okay, so that adds up to the math if it is the 17th being December to Remember, 3-hour event, 3-hour Dynamite. And then 3 days later, on the 20th, All Out moves to 3 p.m. Let me get my captions up. Where's he at? Right here. Tom Jeffries on the board now. Looks like we're going to finally get an FTR versus CNC at All Out. We had the return of Hook. MJF vows to take the championship from Hangman Adam Page. It was a great promo. The Death Riders continue to try to court Chris Statlander. Omega and Hangman are allies once again. I'm a little confused because MJF won their little Money in the Bank briefcase, right? And I mean, it's not a case; it's a guaranteed contract for a match, and then was forced to use it, and then didn't have to because he got a match with them because he was going to beat up Briscoe, but lost that match and got to keep his. I don't know. Forbidden Door results: Adam Page retains against MJF. In the match he was forced into. Tony Storm defeats Athena. Okada retains Unified Championship against Swerve. A lot of these words are misspelled. I only can assume that Higgy wrote this for Tom because it says he restrained his Unified Championship against Swerve. Brodito captures the AEW Tag Team Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Nigel McGuinness to hold on to the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Wardlow, after a 2-year absence of hanging out at Disney, returns and joined the Don Callis family as if they needed 17 more people.
I mean, my God, that family, dude. Jeez Louise. They're
Jackrabbits, my man. Jackrabbits.
They're everywhere now. I don't even know why would I still can't figure that out. It feels like if you're bringing him in, somebody's got to get tossed, right? You got to send them packing because I can't see it having all those guys together. It's almost too it is too much. It isn't almost, it is too much. It's
the boot.
unwieldy.
Absolutely. Not really sure what's. They've done that to a lot of people. We still have not seen Britt Baker in years. I don't know what's going on there.
She should come back with the Don Callis family. They don't even have a woman. They should have brought her back.
Wait, Don Callis ain't a woman?
No.
I thought he was.
No,
he is quite the wussy, but with a different letter. Lights out, steel cage match. Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay defeat the Young Bucks, Moxley, Claudio, and Gabe Kidd. Is that the match that afterwards they tried to break Ospreay's neck? Probably.
I think it was because it's also the match. I think we saw the highlight of it where they were using the. I don't remember what it was. Screwdriver or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Cope and Cage defeat Killswitch and Kip Sabian. That was probably a banger. Kyle Fletcher defeats Hiromu Takahashi to retain the TNT Championship. And Mercedes Moné defeats Alex Windsor, Bozilla, and Persephone to retain the TBS Championship. AEW is not doing a bad job, but it's like I was talking to Steve, our guy Steve earlier. He asked me because Steve used to be the flag bearer for AEW. I was talking to him earlier. He's like, I don't even watch it anymore. I can't watch it. It don't make a lot of sense. I can't do it. And I told him, I said, well, look, don't tell anybody I said this, but the last couple of weeks of AEW television have been as good as it's been in about a year and a half. I said, let me preface that by saying it's still a lot of chaos. A lot of stuff still don't make any sense, but it's fun not making it. It's been kind of entertaining. I still don't know why we sat there for 3 months watching MJF try to get into the Hurt business only to get into the Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate and be kicked out 2 weeks later with no explanation. Just
that felt very Vincian. That's what we'll call it now because Vince did all that kind of stuff. He would start a storyline and then just drop it, or he would have it end abruptly, no explanation, just done.
We normally have Dynamite on in the background, but we were so excited to talk to you all, we didn't even put it on. Apparently, Riho has just returned on Dynamite.
Riho!
She might be we don't know. That hasn't been confirmed nor denied. We'll turn it on. Again, we normally have it on while we're doing this, so my apologies to got to give them their little rating point. I wouldn't want them to.
I mean, I've always
Miss
been
out on
glad there's two organizations now. Like, because it's
Oh,
good.
that's right. They're in the ECW arena again, kind of doing okay. WWE was just there, so we're going to do it. The petty fight between the two organizations need to stop because it's bad enough you've got the insane fans that want to take it to the next level, but when okay, they went there, so now we're going to go there, so we can say we were there last and all this stuff, whatever. She came out after Mercedes beat Alex Winza to hold on to the TBS title. Okay. All right. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Questions of the night. Still haven't got many answers from you guys, and we're going to check social media to see if we got any there. But question number one, favorite iteration of Survivor Series? Is it the team? Is it 5-on-5 teams? Is it War Games? Is it champions versus champions like it was for about 5 years in the late 2010s, early 2020s? Let us know that. Worst pay-per-view name ever. We want that one. And then the third one is, are you a fan of Saturday Night Main Event? You all, we appreciate you all tuning in with us on this Wednesday night for the Wednesday Night Wrestling recap. Just a little bit more we got, and then we're going to let you all go because we got to work tomorrow, and you all probably do too. I'm going to go ahead and throw to our normal segment here. When Jeremy gets a little bit edgy, he's got to drop a bomb. Pause. Let's go ahead and go to that segment. Tonight's pipe bomb is going to be twofold. First one, Sean, as you know, I have to, with my job, I have to go into a bunch of different retailers, Target, Walmart, just to name a few.
Yep.
I walked in earlier last week. Sorry, I've had this on deck for a week, and I saw Halloween stuff on the shelves. Now I know what you're saying. Oh, well, that's not too bad. It's just a couple of months old. Now this was still in this was still in the beginning of August, where to me that's still summer. That's still pool season. But so it irked me, but it didn't irk me too bad until I walked 2 aisles down and started seeing Christmas stuff out. Hey Walmart, hey Target, hey all you idiots. Stop rushing the year along. We don't need life goes by fast enough without having to have you idiots dictate what season and what's next. Are the peeps going to be out in a few weeks for Easter? We'll start putting fireworks out for the 4th of July. Like, I mean, what are we doing here? Second part of the pipe bomb is I want you all to say a prayer for the young lady that was behind me driving this morning as I was en route to one of my jobs. It's a 45 mile per hour zone. I'm doing 48. She gets right up on my rear and starts slamming her horn on because I'm not driving. Now, there's nobody. There's dots in the middle of the road. Drive around me if you don't want to be behind me. There's nobody on the other side of the road either. So I don't know what was crawling up her butt. I even did the whole, hey, why are you honking at me, heifer? And I look back in my rear view mirror, and she's doing it right back to me. So I don't know, but I hope you had a better rest of your day, and I hope that Jesus loves you at the end of the day because I sure don't. Let's go ahead and close out the show, Sean. Shout out to our fine sponsors, CapGo Championship belts. If you want one of them that's out right now, or you want your dream one made, like I have, which is over Sean's left shoulder. I don't know if you can see it. No, they can't. Your water bottle's in the way. It's over there in the back with the Ula Fala Fala Bala Mala on it. Or you get one of them that's out right now. Shoot, you can probably get the Crown Jewel Championship. Our guy Abdul will make it for you, and he does quality work. You'd never know it wasn't the real thing. CapGo Championship belts on Facebook. CAPGO space championship space belts. Find that group on Facebook. They'll take care of you. Also, our fine friends at i6tix.com. They create memorabilia for wrestling events. We got our Sean, can you reach back and get that one? It is our commemorative WrestleMania tickets. Yeah, they're right there. Get it closer to the camera, Sean, and cover your junk up for God's sake. There you go. You're not Vanna White. You're Vanna Pretty White, but not Vanna White. Go to www.i6tix.com. They will create your custom event memorabilia for you as well. Let's get to the final bell, closing thoughts. Sean, we talked earlier in the show, and I prepared you, so you've had a little bit of a while. The Usos reboot. Let's get to the text line really quick. Brian Cross says, I'm a purist, so I like the classic 5-on-5. The really cool thing about the 5-on-5, and it was 4-on-4 for a little bit, is you got to see people on Superstars and on Primetime Wrestling that normally didn't interact team up. And the cool names they had for the team, too, like the Perfect Squad or Team Demolition or whatever it was, those were really, really awesome. Tom Jeffrey's favorite one was the Survivor Series when it was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, and I believe that was the same one during the Champions versus Champions thing. So,
yes.
Adam Cole was the North American champion. He wrestled the Intercontinental and the U.S. champion. All the heavyweight champions wrestled each other. All the women's champions wrestled each other. That was a really good one. Worst pay-per-view name, Great Balls of Fire. That's another one for the good guys there. New tag team. Let's freshen it up. Down since day one is the motto of the Usos. I want to. They're not going to. They're going to be the Usos. But if you could name them anything, Sean, what would you name
them? Street Eaters.
Sean, that may be the worst thing I've ever heard. There we go. Forgot to put it back to the. We need a third man. Speaking of somebody who needs a fourth man, we need a fourth man to control the with Joey being out to control all the graphics and stuff. I think it's pretty obvious with in light of recent events. Coming to the ring from San Francisco, California, it's Yeet and Skeet. Right?
Uneffing believable.
Now believe that.
Yeet Heat? I don't know.
No, Yeet and Skeet. Jay Yeats, and apparently Jimmy's been skeeting.
Yeah.
Yeet Squad for Brian Cross says Yeet Squad. Tom Jeffrey says day one-ish. Both of those are really good. They're not going to change the name, so it is what it is. And again, we shout these people out every week because what they do is really awesome, and what they've created is really awesome. Pro Wrestling Nation on Sirius XM, Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer. They also have Nick Nemeth, Bishop Dyer. I feel like I'm forgetting a really big name. No, they'll get over it. They got a really nice lineup all day long, and from a show that started out like one day a week for an hour to being 24 hours, that's quite impressive. And that's something we kind of have modeled so we started off doing one Cardinal Sports Zone podcast a week. Now we do 2 or 3, and we've got the wrestling podcast. So it's very awesome to see. Sean, do you have any final thoughts for this week's show? Not sure when we'll be back. Hopefully it'll be there's no pay-per-views this weekend, correct?
No, not that I know of it.
Okay, so we'll probably be back in 2 weeks because we do have other shows and stuff to do. So we'll probably take because there's no football game next week either, is there?
So we could do it next week. Yeah.
Okay, so we probably will be here with you all next Wednesday night. What we'll talk about, we don't know yet because nothing has.
Well, we can talk about the if something big happens on SmackDown.
Well, yeah, we could talk about her.
Yeah.
And what there's got to be other matches announced for Palooza Fest, a go-go. We're just gonna keep adding words to it. Palooza Fest, a go-go, A&M Tech. We'll watch.
A&M Tech.
We'll talk about that, and we'll find some. So yeah, we'll be here with you all next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. and we'll do a Dynamite watch along as always while we're doing the podcast. But go ahead, Sean. Final thoughts.
I'm looking forward to WrestlePalooza to see how things come together, because obviously we only know of one match for sure announced. So obviously the matches themselves are almost all the time they're great, right? At these pay-per-views.
Premium live events, Sean.
I'm sorry, PLEs. But
I bet you say police a lot, don't you?
Pretty please. No. Uneffing believable. But what I want to see is the build up, because the build is what really matters, right?
Yeah.
You got to get me interested in it. Because you can have a great match, but if the build was crap, does anybody really care? No.
No,
So
and that's AEW's biggest problem, right? There's never any continuity. Like,
they only have continuity with certain things. Like, you can tell what they care about and what they don't care about at all, but they're just putting it on there because they're like, well, we got to get these people on screen.
You mean like the 22-member Don Callis family?
Exactly.
Like Briscoe and MJF were feuding 2 weeks ago, and now he's fighting the Murder Hawk with who? You want to talk about somebody they dropped the ball on, AEW. When they had him first, oh, God. When he first came to AEW and they had that thing where he's undefeated and he was coming out and just beating the crap out of everybody, money.
He had Jake Roberts, right? Was his manager.
Yeah. Tom Jeffrey says, All Out don't even have a match announced yet, and it's in 2 weeks, right? Isn't it the 20th is when?
Yeah.
So
Louise, I didn't know they haven't announced a match
yet. Now we still have an hour and 9 minutes of. I thought MJF and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, but didn't they announce MJF versus Hangman for All Out? Maybe I'm wrong there. And yes, Brian, it's Sam Roberts. I forgot Sam Roberts and Natalya. She's doing the heartbeat for Pro Wrestling 247, Pro Wrestling Nation 247. Maybe I'm just mistaking that because they wrestled at Forbidden Door, but I thought his cash in, since they announced that it can't be an impromptu anymore, it has to be scheduled. I thought they announced that already for All Out. We'll wait for you to respond before we sign off here, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I'm sure some of these matches, even though they're not announced, you can kind of see where they're going. If you're watching, they telegraph a lot.
Also, as I forgot to mention this earlier, it was announced, got a press release from WWE earlier saying TKO is extending their partnership with T-Mobile Arena for a minimum of 2 WWE events to the year 2030.
T-Mobile, which one is that one?
That's the one in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Now I'll tell you what, I've not. No, see, I thought they said that last week, Brian. I thought they said last week that you have to announce your cash in 30 days in advance, and that he pressed him into doing it at All Out. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Again, admittedly, I skim through AEW a lot because normally I watch the first hour while we're doing the podcast and the second hour the next day. So I do need to have that confirmed, though. Again, wrestling is something that we love to watch and we love to talk about. This has been a dream of ours for years and years and years. It's almost surreal to think I'm on the AEW press list. I'm on the WWE press list. I'm on the NXT press list and OVW as well. And it's just like, man, this is awesome.
They have only.
Yeah, Brian. I was talking about Hangman and MJF as well.
They only have one match so far that they've actually announced, and that's the tag team match between the.
So Cope and Christian versus according to AEW's website anyway, it says that Copen Christian versus FTR was made official already. So that I knew one match had been. I just couldn't think of which one it was. Well, Tom, maybe you can work on that. And yes, they do have to announce the contract. I thought it was. Maybe I just don't pay enough attention to AEW. I thought he said 30 days, which added up to the math at the time for All Out. So it is what it is. Again, we appreciate you all. Very humbled that you all tuned in to us. Very appreciative of the opportunity that we have to do this for you all, for myself, for Sean, for Tom Jeffries, for Clint Carroll, for Tom Jeffries, our AEW correspondent, for Clint Carroll, our TNA correspondent, and also announcing tonight we will have a new OVW correspondent. Our guy Chris has stepped back from doing it. We welcome in a different view, a different point of view. OVW mega fan Melissa Sternberg is going to be our OVW correspondent. She's going to give it a shot. I contacted her earlier today. She said she was interested, didn't know what all it entailed. Kind of let her know, and she's going to shoot us exclusive photos from OVW events that we can tweet out and show you all too. So we're really looking. I forgot to tell Sean that before the show. I meant to, but for all of us here at the Ringside Podcast and Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast, production of the Wednesday Night's Wrestling Recap, we appreciate you all. Until next time, we wouldn't expect that. With AJ Lee's return to the ring, we were looking to release some fire gear before WrestlePalooza. Wait a minute. Sorry, that's a different thing I was reading. I'm sorry. Castanelos gets a home run, and they're up 4-1 in the fifth. Oops. I mean, we'll see you at ringside. Thank you, guys. I hope you all got that joke because that was pretty funny. If you got it. If you were paying attention, that was funny. The proceeding is a Ringside Podcast